From the moment I was born, the universe decided to hand me a lifetime of bad decisions, almost as if someone hit shuffle on my life and bad decisions was the only track. I was born into the world destined for greatness. Yeah, well, it turns out that behind that majestic, noble exterior is a life filled with pure suffering, because being a German Shepherd, it absolutely sucks. No, seriously, it's like falling into a pit of fire and landing on your taxes level of suck. Except my taxes are way past their deadline. That level of suck. I was born tiny, helpless, and with a lifetime warranty for nothing but external suffering and chaos. The worst part is I wasn't even given a choice, You self-serving, walking, talking meat suits literally bred me into becoming the abomination I am today. Congratulations. Fantastic. Really great job there. I didn't ask to become this. Guard dog? Police canine? Sure, kind of a superhero, I guess, except I don't get any spandex, just the back problems. But nobody, and I mean nobody, warned that I would have to fight for my life every day because my body, my instincts, and the insane expectations you babbling buffoons have of me all clash with each other. So here I am, on no decision of my own, living the dream, or should I say, never-ending nightmare. You ever look into the beady eyes of a German Shepherd and think, wow, that dog probably just solved a murder case, filed a tax return, and still found time to hate squirrels professionally? Yeah, you're part of the problem. So today, I want to enlighten you all on why being a German Shepherd is like being born into a life where everyone thinks you're Batman, but in actuality, you have the emotional range of a broken Roomba and the hips of a Victorian ghost. First off, being the god of hip dysplasia is no easy feat. If you want to know what hips that can't hold their own weight looks like, try getting me to fetch a ball. And quickly, let's just address the elephant in the room, or rather, the dislocated hip joint. My hips are held together by lies and sadness. Let's just say what we're all thinking. They're a disaster. But hey, as German Shepherds have hip dysplasia like it's a birthright. Honestly, they're about as reliable as a gas station burrito. But you know what's really fun? Being a majestic working breed trained specifically for police duty, but your skeleton looks like it was put together like IKEA furniture by someone on NyQuil. It's like playing Russian roulette, except every time I spin the wheel, I get IKEA instructions on how to build a functioning body. Ah, yes, Officer Rex, need you to go chase down this dangerous fugitive across uneven terrain. Rex. Sure thing, just let me pop both my femurs back into their sockets like a crusty glow stick. You can't even sneeze near me without my joints filing a complaint with OSHA. And you'd think breeders would be like, oh no, maybe we should fix this genetic nightmare. But nah, they're out here doubling down, trying to breed dogs with backs so sloped they could host a ski competition. At this point, the only thing I'm shepherding is my own vertebrae into retirement. Now, let's talk about my dazzling personality. That separation anxiety rumor is not a rumor. You think I'm exaggerating? Nah, honey, I'm literally attached to you. Like a barnacle on a ship, I'm a limb growing out of the side of your hip. If you walk out of a room, I don't just fall into a pit of despair. No, I completely lose my sense of self and will to live. I begin pacing, stomach in knots, thinking of all the horrible things that might have happened to you in the short distance between your room and your kitchen. You can't ever pop out quickly to run errands with me. You've died, leaving me an orphan. You're basically raising an emotionally codependent toddler, not a chill, independent dog. I'm the epitome of a walking mental breakdown. It's quite pathetic, really, but hey, that's what happens when you've been bred for loyalty that turns into a crippling emotional attachment. That's until you get close to me when I don't want it. You ever think someone or something could be more emotionally unavailable than your ex? Think again, sweetheart. You know how golden retrievers are like the bubbly kids at school who just go around giving hugs to everyone and collecting stickers? Yeah, no. I'm the brooding loner whose convinced emotions are a government conspiracy and is simply 1 millisecond from running into oncoming traffic at all times. I'm the canine version of a grumpy teenager minus the I hate everything t-shirt. I'm about as warm and cuddly as you'd imagine a wet paper towel to be, unless you train the ever-living hell out of me, that is. I'm either on edge, suspicious of air molecules, or plotting the downfall of your cousin Steve because he walked through the door too confidently. My default emotion is mistrust, and my second favorite emotion, anxiety. I've never heard of anxiety. You know why? Because I invented it. I'm the founding member, and trust me, the fees are steeper than my top line. I'm talking full-on panic attacks daily. You think chihuahuas are off the rocker? I'm so neurotic that I make those tiny devils look like Buddhist monks. And you know what really sucks? Even more than being anxious all the time, literally being genetically engineered to be the poster child for anxiety. A pin falls to the ground on the other side of the neighborhood, DEFCON 1 mode activated. Fireworks, panic. The nuclear war has begun. Thunder, existential crisis. The end is nigh. Microwave beeps a little too loud. Bomb threat. There's a single thought running through my mind, and it's, I've seen the end. It's loud. And to think that I'm one of the same dogs that were trained to sniff out bombs, taken into combat, surrounded by gunshots and screaming, but I promise you, I will have a nervous breakdown if you sneeze without warning. That sneeze will land me Nervous Dogs Anonymous, aka AAA for dogs with anxiety. The worst part about it all is I'm a little too self-aware about it. You can physically see the sheer amount of stress I'm under behind my eyes, like I'm a singular screaming child away from being a freelance nihilist. Listen up, people. I need you all to know something. Don't treat me like a pet. No. Imagine if you've hired a TSA agent who's on cocaine and has crippling abandonment issues. Literally. Congratulations, buddy. You got an employee that you didn't even know you were hiring. Good job. Okay, listen very closely. I need a job constantly in every essence of the world. If you don't give me one, I'll just make one up. And spoiler alert, you're always going to be a problem when I'm just trying to do that job. I wasn't born into a life of luxury, leisure, and belly rubs, okay? I was quite literally manufactured to do nothing but work. Guard things, herd things, be a nanny dog, sniff drugs or bombs, chase down crooks, you name it. It's probably in my job description. Free labor since birth, I was born to be the perfect soldier, the epitome of canine excellence. Except when it's nap time, then I'm the most melodramatic workaholic finally taking a break to sleep 16 hours straight. Here's the kicker though, the second I'm not doing something, I will 100% lose my damn mind. I will piss on everything you love, shit myself, bite off half my own tail, break a bone, and almost kill myself all in the span of 2 minutes tops. I will become so psychotic that I'll start barking at shadows coming out of the walls like a schizophrenic. I was literally born to work. I will short circuit if I don't. What do you expect of me? You know what really grinds my gears? The back problems I have would have killed a small Victorian child. Truly, my spine is so fragile, it would have been used as a prop in a Victorian-era play about illness. But you know what's really fantastic? A stroke of pure genius, designing a dog that has a back that looks like a ski slope and then expecting the same dog to function like a CrossFit instructor. I was originally bred to be a working dog. I was supposed to be strong, efficient, and powerful until some idiot at a dog show in the 1900s decided it would be splendid if I looked like I was melting down a staircase. So now I tragically walk like a transformer stuck between robot and car mode, trotting around like I'm perpetually trying to limbo under God's expectations. And yeah, this is the origin story of all those God-forsaken back issues that spiraled into a plethora of defects in me. I'm talking about massive spinal issues. Like, how am I still functioning? But hey man, at least I look aesthetic to some pompous weirdo that owns 14 chinchillas, a peacock, give or take 2 exotic big cats, and has their dog show ribbons framed in the bathroom. This next one though is personal. Real personal. Imagine simply existing and everyone thinks you're a cop. But really, you're just an ACAB for lifer. Cruel. I'm just walking down the street, minding my own business, and everyone over the age of 11 and their mothers decide that I look like I'm about to ask for their license and registration. Because of course, everyone automatically assumes German Shepherd equals police equals snitch. Nobody wants to pet me. Nobody offers me treats. Nobody calls me a good boy. Kids cry when they see me. Adults lock their doors. Meanwhile, crackhead huskies down the road have their own fan base. I might be the softest, friendliest, derpiest good boy alive, owned by an equally anxious girl in her 20s that kisses my forehead and puts on my jammies before bed every night. But God forbid if I look like I might have been a canine unit once in 2003, and then suddenly I'm a narc. Random person. You see that shepherd over there? Yeah, I bet he's a police canine. Dog. I literally eat my own tail and have separation anxiety so bad that I get instant diarrhea. Oh, and another thing, I'm a literal Rolodex of health problems. Let's whip out our checklist real quick, shall we? It's like some carbon-belching, selfie-talking, fast-food gobbling swamp donkey handing me a starter pack for every ailment known to ever exist in a dog. Hip dysplasia? Check. Always the first on everyone's list. Elbow dysplasia? Ooh, close second. Check. Degenerative myelopathy, aka the canine version of being neurologically backstabbed. Tragically, yes. Pancreatic insufficiency? Also check. Bloat, aka surprise death speedrun. Hey, what do you know? Also check. Allergies to everything? Sounds about right. Spine? Broken like their owner's hopes and dreams. Knees? Missing. Report never filed. Trust in humanity? Shattered beyond repair. I'll literally age like a banana. Leave me out for a second too long, and suddenly I'll be 10 years old with arthritis in places you didn't know could exist. Blind in one eye, no teeth, and on the cusp of death. But hey, at least I got a bark that'll bring on the apocalypse. You know most dogs do bark right. A little woof or a bork, if you will. Sometimes a silly little ark, which can be annoying sometimes. Sure, manageable nonetheless. Now, take all that, multiply it by nuclear warfare, subtract all logic and reasons while adding the unrelenting fury of 1,000 unpaid interns. Voila! Congratulations, genius. You've now got my bark, aka the reason God flinches sometimes. Honestly, though, I don't bark. I detonate. It's not a wolf. It's a supersonic attack that will make your soul vibrate out of your body. The kind of bark that will make your ancestors flinch, planes reroute, and satellites lose signal. If you don't hear me bark, you'll get hit with it. It doesn't pass through your ears. It detonates in your spinal fluid. Even an airplane's black box would survive the decibel blast. One bark in your grandma's dentures in another zip code are vibrating. You jolt awake at 3 a.m. thinking someone's been murdered. No, I just saw a leaf move, or a shadow, or the ghost of my own spinal alignment. Now imagine being a burglar trying to sneak into a house, and suddenly this velociraptor thunderstorm hybrid noise erupts from the shadows. You'd surrender to me, the dog. If my bark were a movie genre, it would be straight up horror. Think The Exorcist, but for your nervous system. In all honesty, you'd be thinking I was giving TED Talks on why noise pollution is the real problem for funsies. So yeah, being a German Shepherd, it's not all glory, honor, and catching the bad guys. It's spinal trauma, anxiety, betrayal, furballs. Sure, I'm noble, loyal, and majestic, but I'm also one sneeze away from collapsing like a haunted marionette. So next time you see a German Shepherd glaring into the abyss, just know he's not plotting your death. He's just trying to remember what it felt like to walk without sounding like a bag of marbles. Remember, friends, life comes at you fast, unless you're a German Shepherd. Then it comes at you with vet bills, trust issues, and lumbar pain. Adopt responsibly, hug your shepherd, and maybe don't sneeze too loud. Peace.